Peace and light. Happy Wednesday to y'all. It is Wednesday, hump day. Get over that hump. Alright, so I said I was going to do the recipe for fried cauliflower, so I'm going to do that. I went on and set up everything. So I have the batter, I have the cauliflower. So it's just, this is one head of cauliflower, and I just chopped it up into pieces, you know, little bite-sized pieces. And I use, for my batter, I use garbanzo bean flour. And I use about 1.5 cups to a half a cup of water to make it this thick. And you can make it thicker than this. See, if you can see that. So you can make it thicker than this, and I'll show you as I dip it. But I choose to make it that thick because the thicker the batter, the thicker the breading, and it'll make the breading like just almost too thick, and it won't be as crispy. And then I also season the it's like chicken. It's like chicken. But with vegetables, one thing I've learned, you treat vegetables like you treat like you would treat meat. So if you would season meat really well, you season vegetables very, very well. So I've seasoned this batter. I like Mrs. Dash. So you seasoned it with Mrs. Dash, a couple of red pepper flakes, and salt. I do really simple, Himalayan salt, pink Himalayan salt. I do really simple seasonings because I mean, like the flavor, your flavor palette changes with the way that you start to eat. And for me, once I started eating, started eating just more vegetables, because this for me is a treat. I really don't fry food anymore at all. As you evolve, everything evolves, and so the way that I eat has evolved. So this is a treat. Actually, before I go into eating, I'll be doing all raw foods for as long as I can. Everybody I know is doing it a month, and me, I'm gonna do it however long I do it. I don't care. And I just think it's funny. I'm gonna share this little joke. So when I was out walking, it was a brother. He said he see me walking, and he said, "Hey, you in the South now, we don't need you to lose too much weight." I said, "Okay, well, I don't care where I am, and I like myself just fine." And it's so funny, like eating this way has just helped me maintain a weight where I feel comfortable. And again, I don't eat like this regularly now. I really don't even cook a lot. I don't eat a lot of cooked foods. I will eat a lot of salads, and then I have my moments where I eat some chips and stuff like that. And I do that. So whatever. But for the most part, I try to eat a lot of fruits. I try to eat a lot of vegetables. I try to drink as much water as I should. I generally will keep a gallon of water with me at all times, but sometimes I just forget. And I'm old school, so when I fry stuff, I put it on a brown paper bag to let the oil stick out. I don't know where. I got that from my grandmother. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. I'm just going to be real honest. But it works better than paper towel. They have the little, the little strainers for the oil, but I don't use those. And what I fry when I cook in high temps, I do not use extra virgin olive oil. And I know a lot of people do that. Extra virgin olive oil, unless it says it was made to cook with high temperatures, you do not use that. Because as it burns at high temperatures, it creates carcinogens. That is a cancer-causing agent. You do not want to use that. I use grapeseed oil. Grapeseed oil is made for high oil cooking, high heat cooking rather, and you'll see that. So if you're frying something, unless you're frying it with an extra virgin olive oil that says made for high heat cooking, don't get it. If you're just cooking, regularly, and you're gonna fry something, use grapeseed oil. It doesn't have an aftertaste. Coconut oil kind of has an aftertaste, and it's hard to fry in. I sometimes use canola oil. I know that's not a real oil. I know what they say. It's I know how it's made. It's made in the place in Canada, and it's actually short for Canada oil. But I don't care. Actually, when I was having a really hard time with my cholesterol before I started eating plant-based, I would use canola oil when I cooked, and it took my cholesterol down. I remember taking my blood test, and the doctor asked me what was I doing for my cholesterol. I had slowed down on the fried foods, started eating more baked foods, and I used canola oil. Not olive, not even grapeseed, canola. So, you know, you have to do what works for you. I'm big on that. So anyway, now that I have seasoned that, I don't use a whole lot of oil. I'll probably put a little more in here. I have it on medium-high heat. That's about a 6. And a good way to know whether or not your oil is ready, it's old school. Oh, and I have to say my grandmother's name, Elaine Alexander. I really cook because of her. Watching her in the kitchen, all of that. So I have to say my grandmother's name because I am in the kitchen because of my grandmother. My mother was a worker. That's what she did. She worked, and she worked, honey. But my grandmother, she was cook. So I learned to be in the kitchen from my grandmother. So anyway, it will make a bubble and a spark. Okay, it will generally spark a little loud, you know. But yeah, okay, you can't hear that, but it's making a little pop and a noise. See, I wanted to go a little. Okay, there we go. So what happens when y'all get those pops and those bubbles and stuff like that? What's happening is that somehow water has gotten in your oil, so everything just pops. And so anyway, I'll go ahead and get started. Did I say that I'm using garbanzo bean flour? If I didn't, I'm gonna say it again. Yeah, I did. But this is Bob's Red Mill, one of my favorites to use. They have so much. You know, any natural food section you go into has Bob's Red Mill flours. And those are the best flours to use. So you can hear it popping now because it's popping out the water. I'm going to try and make this as short as possible. But I just dip it in with my hand. Get it nice and, you know, dredge it in the oil a little bit. Or the batter. It's not oil, it's batter. And then I drop it in one by one. And I do mine with the low oil and not a lot of oil, because it fries it more crispy. So really what I guess I can show you, when you look in the pot, like, it's not covered in oil. It's really not deep in the oil. Because one, that makes it less oily when you put it on the paper bag. And then two, it just comes out far more crispy, but you have to be patient and really let it fry on each side. And people deep fry it, and that works. No, you cannot use an air fryer. That was a question that I had. I don't know. I've never used an air fryer, nor have I ever known anybody who does this to use an air fryer. So I would not use an air fryer personally. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't use an air fryer. If that's something you want to try, in fact, if you try it, let me know, because I don't know if that's going to work. And I'd like to know myself. But like I say, I don't fry a lot of foods anymore. This is a real treat for me. And sometimes, as opposed to just leaving it as you know, just battered cauliflower, I'll put a little sauce on it. I used to make homemade sesame sauce and use that, but I don't really do that much anymore because I don't cook like I used to. I used to do meal prepping, and that was how I sustained myself. I used to barter my rent by cooking for people when I first moved to Georgia. And it worked out fine. I didn't just barter my rent by cooking only. I did other things, but that was the main thing that I did, and worked out really well for me. But in this space, because I am eating a lot different than I used to now, a lot more healthily for myself. I don't make those types of foods, a lot of the jackfruit and the the vegan burgers, and I used to make chicken patties, and I still know how to make all that stuff, and I can do recipes on it because I'm not really making that anymore. I'm getting more into the raw foods now. One thing I do with raw foods that I absolutely love is raw food desserts. Raw food desserts that's a thing for me. Like I can get down on raw food dessert all day. But raw foods itself, ain't so great. So I just end up eating a lot of fruit salads. Cause yeah, no, I ain't gonna do that. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and start turning these. And I'm gonna grab this so you can see what this looks like, and how deep it is. Because the oil, I don't use it and make it deep. So let me show you. All right, come with me. All right. So you see how that is? This smells good. It smells like chicken to me because I don't eat chicken. So to me, this smells like chicken. It smells like chicken, y'all. Okay. Let's see, did I take it back? Push him back, way back. Okay. So I'm not using a deep, it's quite shallow. I'm gonna go ahead and turn this off so you know. But let me go ahead and flip some. I'm doing a lot of talking because when you do it right, you don't have it on a high heat. You want it to cook so it's like a golden brown. So it's just like chicken. You have to baby it. You gotta sit here, you gotta wait, and you gotta wait till it gets to the brown that you like. And then you turn it and you turn it like chicken. So that's what has to happen. You have to baby and pay attention to fried cauliflower, or it will cook quickly and overcook or undercook, and it's just really, really crunchy, which means that it's actually healthy. But I mean, this is not necessarily for that. This is just kind of like vegan junk food. It just is. And I say, if you like that, go for that. It's still not, it's far better than meat, but it really doesn't have any nutritional value. So when you think about going plant-based, if you are looking for nutritional value, this is not how you start. And I'm just being really honest. You start with fruits and vegetables, steaming them, roasting them, even though roasting is at higher heat. There's still some nutrition left in roasting. And that's how you get started. This stuff still is not brown enough. It's not brown enough for me to show you on one side where it is. So I'm going to cut it off. Then I'm going to start it again. I'm going to cut this thing off and then I'm going to come back. Because I'm really cute. I'm talking for another 7 minutes. I got stories and stuff, but they ain't about cooking. So, yeah, I'm going to come back. All right. Okay, so this here is a nice golden brown. This is what I like to use. For me, this is good. It's gonna be a nice crunchy texture. Yeah, it'll be nice and crunchy. So that's the golden brown I like to attain when I'm making fried cauliflower. This I'm actually going to, I think, put a little sauce on, because that's just what I'm feeling. So I'll probably make a little pretty plate with something cool to post at the end. Maybe some quinoa or some Brussels sprouts. Actually, that's exactly what I'm doing. Make some quinoa and some Brussels sprouts. I really like quinoa because it's tasty to me and it cooks like rice and it cooks quickly. And Brussels sprouts are just one of my favorite vegetables. It's so funny, you get older and you like things that you didn't like when you were younger, at least for me. And that's, again, evolution of everything, evolution of your palate. I could not stand Brussels sprouts, and I used to watch my elders eat them, and I'd be like, ugh. And then I love beets. And my mom loved beets. And she used to tell me all the nutritional stuff about it. So it's so funny that I got older, because when I was younger, my mom, I couldn't stand shopping with her, because not only did she know everybody, and she'd be in the store for 2 hours, and I'd be like, oh God, is everybody, hey, Beverly, oh God, no. But, and now I get how my children feel. So, luckily in Georgia, I don't do that too much. But in Detroit, that was bad. My mom would stop and read the back of the labels of everything that she bought. And I told myself, I said, oh, I'm never going to do that. Listen to me. That's exactly what I do. Everything I eat, I read the label. So, Beverly Dale Rowe. That is calling my mama's name because she is present. So, I'm going to stop it. That's the recipe for cauliflower chicken. You make your batter. You dip it in. You can dip it in any way. I season the cauliflower. I season the batter. I season them separately. And you'll see the end result shortly.